Hello. My name is Wangari Wakabi. We are going to be doing this makeup look, specifically the base and the eyebrows. And just come along this journey. I'm really learning how to do more makeup tutorials, and we're continuing to grow this page. Please hit subscribe if you haven't. Hit the like button. It really helps me out because I am actually putting myself out there. And in all things, I just want us to grow a very beautiful community. Let's get started. We're going to start with our primer. I have already moisturized. I've washed my face. If you're not washing your face before you do your makeup, my sister, that is why your makeup is looking a bit off. That's why it is not going to be as smooth as you want it to be. For me, I learned makeup through YouTube. I always did my makeup via YouTube. Like, you guys, I'm old. Like, when was it? From 2010 on YouTube. That's when I started like watching different tutorials, because like back in the day, let me tell you, makeup tutorials used to eat. They used to eat so bad. And like, you'd even try to ship in like products back in the day, and it used to be so difficult. It's not as easy as it is right now, but I'm telling you, we would find a way to get those products. Like for me, I really learned from Alisa Ashley, Jackie Aina. Yeah, I used to listen to her, but mostly like her story, like how whatever she was talking about, that's what I used to watch. Who else did I used to watch? Makeup Shayla, of course. Ignore this. I got burned recently, so it's healing by the grace of God. But I know I'm going to get back my neck the way it is meant to be. It was scary. It was really scary. But whomst am I? I am protected by the King. I'm protected by my Lord and Savior. So anyway, as we're waiting for the primer to sit, I'm going to do my eyebrows. And something that I've been inspired by lately is, I'm telling you, Nigerian makeup. Nigerian makeup, it's so good. And what I like about them is their products are really affordable. I'm really hoping, like, as we continue in Kenyans, like growing our beauty industry, growing as a people, to understand that we just need to have more hope in ourselves and learn from our counterparts, not to hate on them. I'm telling you, I think we can really build a good makeup base here too, if we just keep on trying. And yeah, and selling good products at a good price. Not everything has to be 5 million shillings, you understand? Like, sometimes I wonder, like, when people are doing pricing, and I'm talking as an entrepreneur, when people are doing pricing, I think many of you don't understand what pricing actually is, because you cannot tell me that your buying price was 200 shillings, and then of course you do unit price per unit in terms of shipping, because you'll divide all your shipping on the number of products that you shipped in, because all your products, they were shipped at the same time. So you're going to divide that shipping cost divided by all your individual costs. You get, that is how you're going to get per unit cost of shipping. You add in your delivery, you add in your payment, you add in your rent, you add in everything else. It should not be triple the cost of your buying price. That just doesn't make sense, genuinely. Even when you add taxes and all these things, it just doesn't make sense. So what I've been learning from like Nigerian makeup artists, most of them really start with their brows and then they go into complexion. You get? And they always use a fan. So today I'm going to use my fan. And oh yeah, I didn't tell you guys, I started using tretinoin. I had been using adapalene for the last like 1 year and a half. And now I'm going to tretinoin 0.05%. I got it from, you can get your tretinoin from Glam Orchid Skincare. I will always plug Valentine. Valentine is such a fantastic business owner. She always just gives you the best service possible. And also the lady who's in her shop, 10 out of 10. So I started using tretinoin, and let me tell you, I'm in the trenches. Because sometimes you can start finding like flakes all over. I had used tretinoin before, but I was not using it correctly. And as I always say, you live and you learn these things, my friend. So I'm starting to use tretinoin, and I'll also continue using azelaic acid, because I just want to give my skin the best basically. Because for me, I really had bad skin. skin. If I'll find photos, I'll put them on the screen. I really had bad skin, especially here. This thing, this pimple looking thing, it is not a pimple. I've had it for my whole life, okay? It will always gonna be there until like I decide to get it removed, but I really doubt I'll get it removed. So I've always had it. Anyway, so with the tretinoin, what I want to do is like really get rid of now the post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation that I've been having from the acne that I had. I had a lot of hormonal acne, you know, I was eating badly, had a lot of stress, and so of course acne came, you know, and now I was able to deal with it. So I really want to have smooth, even skin tone. That is my goal for the next 2 years. Because please remember, when you're doing skincare, give yourself time, give yourself like 2 years to do the work that you need. And sometimes it will require you to be uncomfortable, it will require you to have bad skin for a period, for a time, and you know what, that is just life. That is life. So I have filled in my brows. I'm using the Davis number 40 this time, and yeah, I want to now conceal my brows, and we'll continue from there. I actually shipped a few things from Shein. I had really been wanting new makeup brushes, and my makeup brushes are old. They're as old as 2013, and also like I used to buy a few makeup brushes here and there, but hey, it was time. So I got this from Shein. In Kenyan shillings it was around 3 Gs, and there are over 20 pieces. So this is my inauguration of using them, and I need a brush for my brows. Let me remove them. So these are the brushes I got. This is the mange line, and I always follow like professional makeup artists because they usually have techniques that are just so good, especially Nigerian makeup artists, and I only follow, what is it called, black makeup artists, especially African makeup artists, because they understand our skin tone, they understand our weather, they understand just everything. And you know, when you listen to a makeup artist, this is their job, so I'm like, okay, what do you have to teach me? So I need a brush. So I had seen someone mentioning these brushes, and I said, I kept that in mind, and I was able to ship in using Shipping with Wonder, and it was so smooth. So what do I need? I need a concealer brush. Where is it? Whenever it comes to your brows, look for a flat brush to be able to carve your brows. Let's see among the ones that we have here. I actually think I will use this one. I'll use this. You can use an angled brush, you can use a flat brush. For me, as long as it's flat like this, I'm okay. You know. And guess what, you guys? I've decided to actually give myself a break from my nails. Not that they are even damaged or anything like that. It's just because my training in the gym is really changing, and I cannot be having nails anymore. I can't, because I'll end up injuring myself. Oh, the concealer I'm using is the MAC concealer, the concealer palette in the shade D. Yeah, so this is my last set actually for the year until Christmas time, because I mean during the holidays I have to have a set. So juicy, I had even posted a video about sacrifices for getting what you want, and these are one of the sacrifices I'm making, because I have small fingers. I get them from my grandmother, and my mom too has very small fingers. So whenever I don't have a set on, I look like a toddler. I look like I don't, like I'm having child's fingers, you know. So my nails were an extension of my style, but you know what? Me, I want to have the body of my dreams. I want to work hard at it, and if that means I can't have nails, so be it. Because all these things are vanity at the end of the day. Even makeup is vanity. If if you cannot be yourself without makeup, that is where the problem is. You need to be able to show up without makeup, no matter the situation, no matter the place. Never feel ashamed of your natural skin. If you have hyperpigmentation, I have hyperpigmentation, you know, do not always have to feel like you have to cover yourself, but always remember, I say, based on the situation. If you're going to work and you're in a corporate setting and you need to present yourself a certain way, put on the makeup. But if you cannot go to your mama duka without putting a full face of makeup, that is why I say, like, first love yourself as you are in your natural state, and then start doing to makeup, start learning. And even me, I always keep learning when it comes to my makeup, when it comes to my style, when it comes to my hair. Like right now, my hair is always going to be in twists because I'm on a hair growth journey. I even went to see a dermatologist about like how can I better my hair growth, you get? So I'm on a hair growth journey. I'm washing my hair twice a week. Can you imagine? So I cannot always have my hair in a style because it's going to be washed either way. So even today is my wash day, so I'm going to do an afro for the day, you know, because you have to embrace your natural hair. Yeah, so I've concealed my brows enough for what I want to do, and then I'm going to use my skin tone foundation for on top of my brows. You can use your skin tone foundation or your skin tone concealer. This is the Maybelline Instant Anti-Age Eraser. This one I bought it from Makeup World by Vibs. The one up, it's called what? Moya Avenue near Sasa Mall. So I'm going to mix both of them because I think this foundation that I bought is a bit lighter than I would like. I prefer a darker foundation than a lighter one. And yeah, by the way, you guys, I don't listen to secular music anymore at all. It's been like 2 years since I listened to secular music. So like when people ask me, hey, by the way, do you know that song? I have no idea what you're talking about. I have no idea. If you want a nice playlist, like the music I'm listening to, kind of music that still glorifies God, check my Spotify playlist. You can look for the Wangari Okabi or W Okabi. I'll actually link it down below. And it has changed my mindset. Let me tell you the truth. I usually say the things that you're consuming on a daily basis, because these days music is pigwa, you know, about sex, about lust, about drugs, about always getting drunk. And I'm like, hey, what happened to love songs? What happened to saying, baby, I miss you? You know, what happened to those kind of music? That I can't wait to see your face, that I can't wait to be with you. But now it's, hey, bend over, you know. I'm tired of that, man. I'm tired of that. Now, after I've done my brows, I need to conceal my dark spots. I need to conceal my dark under eyes, my dark circles. And by the way, these dark circles, I have had them since I was a child because I used to have allergies. I used to scratch my eyes. So all this is just friction. And that is why I'm on my tretinoin journey, man. I'm on my journey. This is the concealer set that I was telling you. It's the concealer palette that I'm telling you that I use. This is the MAC in deep. Yeah, in deep. So what I do, because sometimes the orange is too orange, I take some on the brush. I take some on my brush like this, and then now see I have that foundation on the back of my hand. I mix it together so that it's not so orange, but it still gives that orange tint to be able to conceal darkness. If you want to conceal darkness, always use orange or a peach. I'm planning to buy the e.l.f. peach color corrector because I think that is going to be more up my alley. And also I use it as a blush. Do not always use your makeup products the way they tell you to use it. This is blush and you only use it for blush. Use it for other things. If they tell you this is concealer and you can see you can use it as a foundation, use it as a foundation. Who said you cannot use it? Because I miss the days where makeup used to be fun, where you could do whatever you want to do and you're happy and you post it without overthinking about aesthetics. Aesthetics have made things boring. We all look the same. And I'm telling you, ladies, like, God has created you to be different. No, that special thing that you're trying to hide, or people in your life have told you to hide it, I don't listen to them. Don't listen to them, my sister. Don't listen. Show the world who you are. And something that I've always found weird is the people who comment so negative in people's videos. Like, people are just trying to show you their outfit, and yeah, sometimes those outfits are not the best. The outfits are not the best, but this person has taken the courage to post that video. Can you be able to post the video? If you're so good at dressing, can you be able to post the video? You cannot. So majorly say, like, these are such miserable people. And if you've gone through something and you've been able to get out of it, why don't you want to teach people? Judge people also. Judge people for your expertise, because the things you've gone through, my God, you need to be able to monetize from that. But don't always be the kind of and say, oh, I'm scared, oh, I'm this and this. You're going to stay there and regret it. You will always regret not doing what you know in your heart you're supposed to do. I need to set the concealer, and I got these powder puffs also from Shein. I think they were like $1, and 20 or 40 pieces. I'm not sure, but compared to the prices we get here, it was a steal. So I'm going to use my skin tone powder to be able to conceal the where we've color corrected. And sometimes when you see yourself color correcting and it keeps spreading, you end up your foundation is orange, your concealer is orange, it's because you've not set it. This year, good news, giant plenty balling. Go there, follow. Everything I've been wanting, manifesting for my life. Everything I've been wanting, manifesting for my life. What I'm hoping for this YouTube page to be a place where people can come and learn, come and laugh a bit, because I know sometimes I can come off very serious on TikTok. It's because if I'm sweet, if I'm laughing with all of you guys, you won't listen, you won't get the lesson, you take me seriously. But I'm genuinely so appreciative for the community we've built, because I actually never really have to block many people when it comes to my page. But the only times that I block someone is if I see someone is talking badly to somebody else who is in the comments, or someone, let's say we're talking about abstinence, and someone comes and plugs sex toys on the comments. Does that make sense? Does that make sense in that person's brain? You clearly know the kind of values this page has. I'm talking about women keeping themselves. I'm talking about women stopping to masturbate. I'm talking about women to rebuild their love. And then someone comes and says, yeah. Is there any advice? I blocked you with the quickness. Set our color corrector, and now we're going to go in with our foundation. I'm going to be using the Maybelline Luminous foundation in the shade 356. Always shake your foundation. Shake your foundation. Shake it up. If you're looking for brushes in Kenya, I would suggest that you go to Jopa Center. Jopa Center, there's a lady, immediately you enter, you'll turn right. There's a lady at the corner who sells very nice brushes. But all over the boys, what I will suggest is, please don't buy hard brushes. Don't buy brushes that are feathery. Are you seeing how soft this brush is? This is what you're looking for, and they have it there. So what I usually do is I'll take it on my finger, I'll spread it all over my face, especially on the outskirts on my forehead, and I will not spread it all the way to my under eyes, because my under eyes is going to be only for concealer. In the next video for makeup, I will teach you how to underpaint, but this is just my basic routine. And whenever you're blending with a brush, you're not swiping, you're dabbing it in, okay? You're dabbing in. And why I usually prefer using a brush is because it will give you more coverage compared to a beauty blender. But if you like using a beauty blender, do you, mrembo, do you. Remember, I am just a stranger on the internet that knows a few things. So always learn, always take the initiative to learn what works for you. You get? Because even you may come and teach me something that I don't know. You get? And that's why I'm telling people, like, if you have something that you know you do very well, why are you being stingy with your knowledge? I'm not going to take it to my neck because, as you can see, I have a bun. But other times you should always take your foundation down to your neck. And just ensure that it is well blended. You can see that the color is two different colors, okay? It is because my neck is really dark right now due to my bands, okay? But other times it usually matches, and that is why I usually say I prefer a darker foundation than a lighter one. Because you can see it will match with my chest. It will match with my chest. It will match with my chest. Next step is I always go in with my bronzer stroke contour. This is to add dimension back into our face. And whenever I pick up the concealer, I always like going to the back of my hand and just spreading it out a bit so that I just don't go in and shwa and it's too much. No. It's better to add rather than subtract. So whenever you're doing your contour or your bronzer, always start at the base of your ear, over here, in the hollows of your cheeks, and do not go further than your eye. Never go further than here. Always just concentrate it at the perimeter of your face and at the hollows of your cheeks. And you also take it to the perimeter of your face. This is where you'll naturally have shadows. If you're starting makeup, I will always suggest for you to get a palette with multiple colors, even a blush palette, so that you don't always have to buy one, and it actually saves you a lot of money. And even when you're traveling, you don't have to carry a whole kit bag of so many things, you know. So I'm going to use the same palette and I will use this as my blush. I usually do my blush before I go in with my concealer. I like orange blush compared to other colors, but I'm hoping to start experimenting now, like with the pinks, you know, like with the Painted by Esther kind of look. But I usually just go in with my oranges. My oranges just do something to me. You can have. And then I usually like concentrating it at the high points of my cheeks, and also a bit under my eye. And I just diffuse it slowly. Makeup is not haraka, you know, take your time. Even me, I would even say, like, if you have nowhere to go, like on a Saturday or on a Friday afternoon, Sunday, just start playing in makeup, you know, because how are you going to learn? You cannot keep waiting for an occasion for you to learn how to do your makeup. You're never going to learn. And when those events come, you'll be looking funny because you've not been practicing. Favorite artist is Sunday. Sunday's music is just my type of music. It's just so vibey, and then the lyrics, 10 out of 10. This is the race that I run with the God before me. You are holy, Elohim Adonai. Elohim. Now I'm going to go in with my concealer. This is the e.l.f. concealer, hydrating camo concealer. I personally have very dry skin. I have dry skin, so I like more hydrating products than mattifying. And even I just like how it looks when you look so hydrated, moisturized, you know. But if you like a matte look, and even if you're oily combination, please always do your products that are going to help you. Okay, follow creators with the same kind of skin type, follow creators with the same type of makeup look that you like. You do not always have to conform to things that are just not your thing, you get? So I usually like applying my concealer at the back of my hand, and then I do my placement. I usually do that. Why I usually avoid this area is because naturally the concealer is going to spread that way, so you do not need that much, because you'll end up creasing so badly, and that's why sometimes you feel like your makeup is cakey. Cakiness also comes from what is it called, too much powders, but we're going to get there. And also, this is my first tutorial. Please, we are learning together. Cindy, we're learning together. We're learning together. So I just do my placement. Also on your forehead and on the bridge of your nose. Okay? Usually blend out the forehead and leave the under eye for last to have more coverage. Yeah. I blend out my chin. And don't swipe it this way, because that's why your whole face is now looking bright. It's because you're moving the concealer from the placement that we have put, okay? Whenever you're blending your concealer, always look up, especially if you have under eye creases. You must always blend that out. And I like taking up the concealer to my lids. And depending on the look that I'm doing, I'll go in now with a lighter concealer on my lids. But today I'm just going in with a very simple brown eyeshadow, and since my eyelids are already dark, it usually helps, you get? Now going back in with my foundation brush, just to go over everything, just to ensure there are no harsh demarcations of where the blush is, where the contour is, where my concealer starts, you know. Then once we do that, we can now be able to set with powders. For my under eyes, I use the Maybelline Fit Me Matte Poreless in the shade Toffee. I like preparing my powder puff first, and then when you take your powder, always dab it off somewhere so that it is one smooth layer, okay? But before I go in with a powder puff, I like using a brush to first go in and set, and then I go in with a light layer for baking. Ensure before you set that you have really blended out those creases. Blend out those creases before you set, because if you set with the creases, my dear, you're setting the creases. That is why sometimes under your eyes it is not as smooth as you want it to be. And remember, the thing about makeup is that it will look weird before it looks right, okay? So never be discouraged when you're continuing with your makeup. You're like, am I doing anything wrong? You're not doing anything wrong. After you have set all your creams with your powdered blush, with your powdered normal foundation shade, you've set your concealers, now you go in with your setting spray. And spray liberally so that now that powdery, look goes away. Not that it like you start drowning in it, but just make sure you spray properly. And now I will go in with my fan. Now I just want to do a simple eye look and then we'll be done. With the the eye look, I just did a bit of brown eyeshadow, a winged liner, and some very colorful blue eyeliner on my bottom waterline. And I've just sprayed myself with the Maybelline Lasting Fixing Spray. And since I'm not really going out and about, I didn't have to spray again with like the L'Oreal setting spray. So if you have any questions about makeup, I'll continue doing more in-depth tutorials so that you can truly learn. And I'm also learning as I continue, because I really want to improve my technique, have a better base, have better eye looks, and in all things I just say always keep learning, always keep learning. I'll catch you guys in the next one.